There are places on this planet, places that don't just challenge science, but force us to question everything we think we understand about reality itself. Places where silence is not empty. But filled with unanswered questions. Places where the closer you get, the less sense everything makes. Because what you see doesn't feel natural, it doesn't feel random, it feels intentional. Massive structures, perfectly aligned, built with a level of precision. That shouldn't exist in the time they came from. Giant drawings stretching across entire landscapes, so large that they only make sense when viewed from the sky, and mysteries that when you stand in front of them, you don't feel amazed, you feel confused, because deep inside, you know something is not adding up. This is not a legend. This is not a story. These are real places that exist today. But the real question is not, are they real? The real question is, how? In this video, we are not searching for treasure. We are searching for something more dangerous. The truth. The full picture behind these places. Because what we're about to see is not just history, it's a puzzle, and every piece raises more questions than answers. Nazca lines. In the desert of Peru, there is one of the strangest creations ever made by humans. The Nazca lines. From the ground, they look like nothing, just random lines, scratches in the earth. But from the sky, they transform into something else entirely. Massive drawings, animals, geometric shapes, symbols, stretching for kilometers, a monkey, a spider, a hummingbird, each one drawn with incredible precision. But here's the problem. You cannot see them from the ground, not even partially. To understand their full shape, you need to be hundreds of meters above them, and yet, they were created more than 1,500 years ago, long before humans could fly. So how did they do it? How do you draw something you cannot see? And even more disturbing, many of these lines are perfectly straight, stretching for miles without deviation, as if someone was guiding them from above. Some researchers believe they were ceremonial paths. Others say they are connected to water systems. But none of these explanations fully answer the real question. Why make them this big? Why design something? That only makes sense from the sky? Unless they expected someone to see it from there. Puma Punku, in Bolivia, there is a place that doesn't look ancient. Puma Punku. At first, it looks like ruins, broken stones, scattered across the ground. But when you look closer, you realize something shocking. These stones are not random. They are cut with extreme precision, perfect right angles, identical shapes, smooth surfaces, and holes placed with exact symmetry. As if they were made by machines, modern machines. And yet, this site is thousands of years old. Even today, with all our technology, recreating this level of precision is extremely difficult. But the real mystery is not just the cutting, it's the material. Some of these stones are incredibly hard, harder than the tools. That were supposed to be used at the time. So how are they shaped? And even more confusing, how are they transported? Because these stones were not found here, they came from kilometers away, across rough terrain, without wheels, without cranes, without machines. So how? Stonehenge. In England, there is a structure that has stood for thousands of years. Stonehenge, a circle of massive stones, arranged with intention. Some of these stones weigh over 50 tons, and they were transported from distances of over 200 kilometers. But the real mystery is not how they move them, it's how they place them. Because Stonehenge is not random, it is aligned. With the movement of the sun during the summer solstice, the sun rises, perfectly aligned with the structure, which means this was not just construction, it was design, it was knowledge, astronomical knowledge. So how did they understand the movement of celestial bodies with such precision? And why was it so important to align these stones with the sky? Moai, in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, on one of the most isolated islands on Earth. There are faces, watching, Moai statues, hundreds of them. Some weighing more than 80 tons, carved from volcanic rock, each one with a unique expression, each one facing inland, not the ocean, as if they are watching something we cannot see. But here's the mystery. They were carved in one place and moved across the island, without modern tools, without machines. There is a theory that they were walked using ropes. But even that does not fully explain it, because moving one statue is difficult. Moving hundreds is something else entirely. So why did they do it? And what did these statues represent? Göbekli Tepe, in Turkey, a discovery was made that changed everything we thought we knew about human history. Göbekli Tepe, more than 11,000 years old, built before agriculture, before cities, before civilization, and yet massive stone pillars. Arranged in circles, carved with detailed symbols. This is not primitive. This is organized, planned, intentional. But here's the problem. According to everything we know, people at that time were hunter-gatherers. So how did they organize? Labor, resources, and time. to build something like this? And even more strange, this site was intentionally buried. Why? Great Pyramid. In Egypt, there is one of the most famous structures on Earth. The Great Pyramid of Giza, built with millions of stone blocks, aligned almost perfectly, with the cardinal directions, with an accuracy. That modern tools struggle to match, and inside, structures designed with mathematical precision. So how do they build it, and why does it share similarities with other ancient sites across the world? Now step back. Look at everything. Different continents, different cultures, different timelines, and yet the same patterns appear. Precision, alignment, understanding. So this is no longer about isolated mysteries. This is something bigger, something connected. But what if we've been asking the wrong question? What if the real mystery is not how, but why? Because maybe what we are seeing is not the beginning, but what remains after something else, something older, something forgotten. In the next part, we go deeper